If you have been a good follower of this channel, Igama, you will know that I have said it. That it will get to a time. Supreme Court go be like moi in American English. People not going to respect their judgment again. I said it. Oh yes. If you know that I said it and you were witness to it, indicate in the comment section. I said it. Is it not happening or it is not happening? It's happening now. All of Nalo says Supreme Court don't give judgment on Labour Party, leadership of the Labour Party. I've been no one talk about time since this thing happened. Because I wanted to understand the nitty-gritty, English, the nitty-gritty of that judgment. Yeah, get it. But one thing for sure is that Supreme Court sacked Abure. He say, internal, it don't expire. Oga, go house. Let there be a convention that will bring in a new chairman. And that the internal affairs of the party remains a responsibility of the party. Chicken. Now they don't run around now. They talk say they don't go respect that judgment. That Supreme Court did not set aside another judgment of a lower. Another judgment of a lower. I don't want to talk too much. Mola help me watch as it take happen. And the counter argument as it take touch this Supreme Court judgment. I'm gonna watch.
The Supreme Court has set aside the judgment of the Court of Appeal in Abuja recognizing Julius Abure as the national chairman of the Labour Party. In a unanimous judgment, a 5-member panel held that the Court of Appeal lacked the jurisdiction to have pronounced Abure national chairman, having earlier found that the substance of the case was about the party's leadership. It held that the issue of leadership borders on the internal affairs of a party over which courts lacked jurisdiction. Now, the panel also noted that Abure's tenure had since expired. The court allowed the appeal filed by Senator Esther Nenadi Usman and one other and held that it was meritorious. It therefore proceeded to dismiss the cross appeal filed by the Abure faction of the Labour Party for being unmeritorious.
Said today is nothing unusual, because the real issue here is that when they went to Julius Abure and his group went to the Federal High Court, they went and made a claim that they were entitled to be the leaders of the party. Then that judgment was set aside by the Court of Appeal, but in so doing, the Court of Appeal went ahead and declared Abure the national chairman. So when we came to the Supreme Court looked at the cases and said that no, that since the two lower courts have found that the substantive dispute was the issue of leadership of a political party, that they had no jurisdiction to pronounce Abure as national chairman of the party, and that their judgments were not out of jurisdiction, and they set aside the judgment. And also the Supreme Court went ahead to make the point that political parties, on the need for political parties to be well guided by their constitution and guidelines, especially on the issue of tenure of officers, and that Julius Abure's tenure, he has outlived his tenure.
Now, those reports are actually misleading. The Supreme Court today never said Abure's tenure as a part. The citizens of the government will be ready soon. Maybe by next week we'll get it. There is nowhere in that judgment I said that. Let me say the things that the government said. Now, there are two Court of Appeal judgments. There is the judgment of 13th November 2024, and then there is the judgment of January 17, 2025. Now, in the judgment of November 13, 2024, the court affirmed Abure as the national chairman of Labour Party. That judgment has not been appealed against. It is a judgment in a pre-election matter, and the time to appeal against it has elapsed, and that judgment remains binding and subsisting. Now, but on January 17th, the same Court of Appeal now gave another judgment in which it said it had no jurisdiction. That because it was talking about the leadership of the party. And also the court said that even the appeal filed by Nenadi was of no moment, was odious, and was liable to be dismissed. So because of that, the court already admitted that it had no jurisdiction. But during the same judgment, it now referred to its earlier judgment of 13th November 2024 to affirm Abure as the national chairman. It is that finding that the Supreme Court said today that court shouldn't have said that. The court did not say the November 13th judgment did not affirm Abure. No, the Supreme Court did not say that. But the Supreme Court said that since in this second judgment, the court already said it had no jurisdiction, then it shouldn't have now made any pronouncement. And if that finding that the court made shouldn't have been made. But the judgment of the matter is still there, valid and subsisting, not set aside, which affirm Abure. And the Supreme Court did not set aside that judgment.
Are they laughable or they laughable? Look at they say na legal whatever of the party. The Abure led faction. See the see the Mumu himself, they talk nonsense. They talk nonsense. He said you are the lawyer of the party. So me now we understand this, we no be lawyer now. My head no correct. In black and white, affairs of the party remains the responsibility of the party. Say make court no put mouth inside. And then they acknowledge that Abure's time is up. His tenure is over. Go and hold a convention. That means that una useless convention when I go do for where I said they no recognize that. Una see say una no go respect court order. Say the court did not set aside another judgment of a lower court. Recognizing Abure now because that judgment where they put their head now say he did not set aside. Now the one way they go secure. I don't know how they take secure them. Say Abure be the national chairman. This time now where Supreme Court say made him do the right thing. People say they don't go respect them because they have been doing the wrong thing in the past. Example, River State. Nobody then give the judgment where they scatter the state now. Where they carry solar administrator put inside. Solar administrator. I can't remember the last time I heard about solar. That was during the military regime now. We are now having a solar administrator in a democracy. Hi. All the way go. So it don't start with. Supreme Court now they don't reduce now. They say they don't go respect them. Let's see what people would do. They say Supreme Court there is another judgment that you put not talk. That they will not respect your judgment that sacked their Alpha and Omega, Julius Abure. You saw when that appeal court gave judgment and said that Supreme Court is the leader of the party, and said, which are waiting now they talk again, and said that Abure is the chairman of the party. Every other person, Melo, P2B, Fash, everybody, now the thing is against them, they say they don't go respect. And let me remind you, who are the stakeholders of this party? Make they call them the big Abalaba. None of them is with Abure. Number one, NLC, Nigerian Labour Congress. They are not with Abure. Number two, the only governor that they have, Alex Oti of Abia State. They are not with Alex Oti. They are only presidential candidates that put the crowd. That made the party what it is. P2B. They are not with P2B, and P2B is not with them. Members of the National Assembly. They are not with them. Which other? All of them talk now. Who come they support them? Just a minority of thieves saying that they will not respect Supreme Court. Let us see how things unfold now. Whether we will allow this one to stand. P2B, you now have the standing now to do whatever thing you want to do as a leader of that party. Supreme Court has given a judgment. You people should save your party if you still want to be in that party. I get it. I'm even surprised that the Supreme Court even sacked Abure. I thought Supreme Court would play the script of their master, Tinubu. But this one that God made it and they capitalize on it and restructure your party. I get it. People now follow talk. I go see you later.
For over a decade, this has been the birthplace of innovation. Innocent Vehicles is a testament to resilience, employing international best practices to create more than just a car. Every vehicle here tells a story of durability, fuel economy and safety. Crafted with the African spirit, the Nigerian heart. These vehicles surrounding me embody the unique concept of regionalization, each one designed to cater to the tastes and preferences of our people. From the streets in Nigeria to the terrains of the Sahara, these vehicles are designed for our roads, for our people. This is more than a vehicle. It's a symbol of our progress, our resilience, our collective success story. Your feedback drives us to continuously innovate and improve. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.